Hey guys, this is Brent with Western Equipment, and in this video we're going to be going over the Stihl FS130R Trimmer. Now in this video I'm going to be telling you all about the specs, features, service points, and at the end give you a quick live cutting demo with the auto cut line head. So let's get started. So starting out, let's talk a little bit about the FS131R, where it falls in the Stihl trimmer lineup. This is going to be in that professional grade series, so meaning is it's going to have more functions rather than just the line head at the end, which we'll get into here more in a minute. It is the 131R, so it's on the higher end of that professional grade, meaning it's going to have lots of power, lots of torque. You're going to be able to handle many other things rather than just your normal grass. When you get this unit, it is going to be fully set up. It will have this loop handle installed since it is the R. You can get out of the R series in these trimmers and actually get a bike handle grip. So that would be just the normal FS131. Today we've got the R here, so it does have this loop handle. Some of the things you're also going to get with this unit is you're going to get your operator manual, pair of safety glasses, your star-headed wrench and spark plug wrench, an adjustment screwdriver, and this little bar here, which is going to be used for changing those heads, which again, I'll show more here in a minute. Now, this unit as of today lists for $419.99. So like I said, being in that professional grade series, it is one of those little more expensive units, but the power and all the things that you are getting with this unit is definitely worth that price point. Now, some of the specs on this unit, we're looking at 36.3 cc's, 1.9 horsepower. It weighs out right at 12.1 pounds. So it's on the heavier side of these units, but you are going to get a nice strap to come with it to help counterbalance some of that. You're going to have right at 24 ounces of fuel capacity in this machine, and you're going to have a 16.5-inch cutting swath with the line trimmer head. So from here, guys, we'll dive a little bit more into the features of this machine. So we'll start with some of the features that you can't see here on the outside, here within the engine, specifically talking about the carburetor. One thing that's really neat about the 131R is it does have the IntelliCarb system, meaning that that carburetor is going to measure air pressures, and also it can tell on your air filter how clogged it is, so it can make sure and stay up to RPMs no matter if that filter is getting clogged or if you have different changes in air pressure. So really neat system there. Also, this unit is set up with an anti-vibration system, so that is put in place there to help with fatigue throughout the day. This machine is also built in the USA, so really nice feature there. You know, people like to know where their products are coming from, so you can know that this machine is built in the USA. Now, here on the outside, some of the features that we can see, for one being here at the loop handle, we have this soft grip. They put this rubber grip here on the handle, which makes it nice for holding onto the machine and also for that comfort factor. You've also got this nice padded strap here that we talked about there in the beginning. It's going to be nice, since this is a fairly heavy unit, to be able to wear this around your shoulder to help take some of that weight off throughout the day. Moving back here, we've got this nice, once again, soft grip handle and trigger system. It does have the safety switch on top and the easy pull trigger there, and also has a stop switch right here on top, easy to get to. It's not a slide up button anymore. It's just an easy push down right there. Very nice handle setup. And then moving back, some of the features that we have here on the engine, for one is going to be, we have this spark arrested muffler, which I'll show a little bit more about here in a minute when we talk about service features. You'll notice the real sleek design here. Everything's nice and contained. We've got our spark plug cover here on top. We've also got a nice air filter cover here on the side that are all removable, but also keeping everything contained, keeping everything safe there. We do have that purge pump primer on top, and it's also going to have an easy start system, which I'll show a little bit more about whenever we get into the demo portion. All right, moving down here to the cutting head and the shaft. Once again, let's talk about some of the features that you can't see. First one being as right here at the shaft. Inside here, this is going to be a solid steel fully lined shaft. So what that means is your actual drive shaft from the cutting head to the power unit is going to be a solid steel shaft. Now, where that differs is in homeowner models and curved shaft models, you're going to have a cable shaft. And also in some of the professional grade, like the FS111RX, you're going to have that hollow steel shaft. So being that this is a solid steel shaft, you're going to be able to produce more power, have more torque, and be able to use those cutting heads such as those metal blades here at the end, as you're not going to have that risk with that solid steel of getting too much torque and possibly snapping that shaft, since it is solid all the way through. Now also, guys, like I said, this is a fully lined shaft, meaning that that shaft is not just sitting inside with nothing around it. This actually has a poly liner all the way down it. What that's going to do is reduce vibration, reduce fatigue throughout the day. So very nice features in there. Now, some of the things you can see is it does come standard with the auto cut line head here, meaning as that this is a bump head here at the end. You're going to be able to tap that to let out more string. You're also going to have here on the shroud, you're going to have this cutoff system to make sure that string stays at the length it needs to stay at. Now, also one thing about on this shroud here is it is going to tell you that this shroud specifically is only for line trimmer heads. You're not going to be able to use blades with this one. When you get into the blades, you get into another kit that has a more heavy duty shroud on it. It's also a little wider. So interesting feature there. Also here at the end, you are going to have this arrow on the shroud showing you which way that string is actually spinning. Now that's going to be important, so you can base your decision on which way to walk with your trimmer. That way you want to walk away from the way it's throwing it, so you're not walking into that material as you're cutting it. Now also here at the end, we do have the cast aluminum housing here at the end. This is going to be a great feature for that durability factor. Like we said, this is in the professional grade, so that is a great feature here at the end. Now another great thing about the FS131R is since we're in that professional grade, we're also in that solid shaft, you do have the options of not only changing to the different cutting style heads or the metal blades, but you actually have the option here of going to gearbox attachments. So you could put things at the end of this machine, such as that small garden tiller or maybe that bristle brush broom. So with this machine and having those features here at the shaft and cutting head, you have a fully versatile unit that can be used for so many other things rather than just trimming. So from here, guys, let's jump right in and look at some of the service points on this machine. So on this unit, guys, there's going to be 5 main service points. We're going to talk about the spark arrested muffler, our spark plug, our purge primer, our air filter, and our fuel filter here. So we'll start right here on top with our spark plug. Now you are going to get, like I said, this star-headed tool with the spark plug wrench on it. And to get to the spark plug here, we're just going to use this star-headed tool to simply take loose this top cover. Once we get it off, it'll easily expose your spark plug here. So all you'd have to do now, if we're just servicing the spark plug, is take this cap loose and then simply use our spark plug tool here to take that out and change it. Now, real easy to just go ahead and snap this cover back on, as it's just going to be with that star-headed tool once again. So like we talked about before, very sleek, nice, easy design where everything is well maintained, well covered up for the life of that unit. Now over here on the muffler side, the thing that I always like to point out is that these are a spark arrested muffler. So that means that down here, back behind this cover and this top exhaust deflector here, you do have a screen. And as you can see here, there's a hole right on the top of this cover that you can actually go down in with a screwdriver to remove that screw and actually take out that screen from time to time and clean that. And what that's going to do is just allow better airflow and a better performance on your engine. So make sure we're checking that from time to time, clean that off, with some sort of cleaning agent there to break loose all of that exhaust dust. Next here, we'll go ahead and show you how to change the air filter. So you are going to have this black cover on the side. Once again, using our star-headed tool here, just to take these 2 screws loose. And once you get these loose, this cover will simply just pop right off here. And you can see right there our nice big commercial grade air filter there. Easy to just pop that out, blow it out, change it, whatever we need to do there, but nice and easy to get to over here on the side. Now while we're here, we'll also talk a little bit about our purge primer bulb. Now not as easy it looks like to get to, but let me just show you real quick. There's simply 3 screws, 2 here on the front of this unit that we can actually just take loose. and one here on the back side. And then that whole top cover lifts off just like that to expose all of your engine components here. So now to change this primer bulb, say it gets damaged, cracked, it's starting to wear, we simply just need to remove these 4 screws on top, take this plate off, and we can change out that primer bulb. Very simple job. The other nice thing about this cover removing is that you have the whole engine exposed, so whatever we need to work on or service here, maybe we're looking at wiring, we're wanting to change our carburetor, whatever it is, very simple to get to once we remove that cover. So our last service point here is going to be our fuel filter or pickup body that sits down in the fuel tank. But before I show you that, one other thing that I'd point out is these 3 holes here on the back. Now these are going to be our carburetor adjustments. There's more about these in the operator manual of how to use them to adjust. But what you have here is a high, low, and an idle hole there that are going to be those carburetor adjustments. So if that machine's running rough, you do have a way to make adjustments on this machine. Now going back to our fuel filter, it is going to be down here inside the tank. So if we open that up, we can see it right back in there, right there. So it is a little ways back there, but you can simply just use a tool, reach back in there, pull that out, and be able to change that filter. But very important, as we want to make sure that our machine is running right. We're making sure that that fuel's clean when it's going into the engine. So we want to make sure that we are checking out this fuel filter from time to time. Now, before we jump into the demo portion, just real quick, I want to show how easy it is to take this head off to change it. Now, this little hole here on top is where this bar is going to come into play. This is actually going to lock the head in so it doesn't spin whenever you're trying to take it off. So what you'll do is you'll just go ahead and drop that bar down in and then spin the head until you hear it click down in. I don't know if you heard that, so we'll do that one more time. Push it down in, and you'll see it and feel it drop down into place when it hits that locking notch. Now, once you do that, all you need to do is hold that there in place and go ahead and spin here, and this will completely remove the head. So very easy to change. You know, if you're wanting to change to a different style head, maybe you need to take this off to restring it. Very easy to do. We just want to make sure that we have this little tool or something similar that we can go down into this hole to lock it in. All right, so now that you guys have heard all the specs, you've seen the features and all the service points, let's go ahead and start this guy up and go do some cutting. All right, so I'm going to start by filling it up with some Stihl Moto Mix. Now, this is going to be a 50-to-1 fuel to oil ratio here. So keep in mind that even though this is a 4-stroke unit, it does still need the oil and gas mixture. So we'll go ahead and get a little fuel going on here. All right, once we got that going, we'll go ahead and close our lid here and then prime it up. Very important, guys. You know, you've got that purge primer, make sure to use it. You know, give it 5 to 7 pushes here or until you see plenty of fuel there in the bubble. Now, we talked about that easy start system. So one thing I like to point out is we have a 2-position choke system. So you've got full choke, half choke, and the run position. So if you haven't ran your unit in a while, or maybe it's brand new, we definitely want to start up here on the full choke position, and then we'll go ahead and give this unit a few pulls. What you're going to hear is you're going to hear the unit start to fire and then die, and then once it does that, we're going to move it down here to half choke, pull it until it starts, and then once it starts up, we can actually pull the trigger, and it will kick itself down into run mode. So that's a nice feature about this carburetor. You're not going to be stuck in choke, even if you're here all the way in full. Once you pull that trigger, it is going to go to the run position. So we'll go ahead and put it back up here. So there it is. There's the fire and die. So we're going to move down here to the half choke. You always want to let off there, guys, and make sure that your machine is going to idle. Then go ahead and give it a little more fuel. Let it warm up. All right, so I think we're good there. So we'll take it outside here and go cut some stuff. Looks like it's got plenty of power to me, guys. Definitely impressed with the way this unit is. You know, it's got lots of power, lots of torque. You can see some of the heavier stuff that we were cutting here just with the line trimmer head. So lots of power, guys. Like I said, very versatile unit. All right, guys, so to wrap things up, after doing the live demo, I would definitely say that the shoulder strap is a lifesaver. Not that the unit's overly heavy, but I could imagine that going throughout the day using this machine for hours, that it definitely would get tiresome. So definitely take advantage of that. And also, guys, just my overall opinion is this is a great unit. Like you saw out there, plenty of power to do what we were doing with the grass and the weeds that we had. You know, if we had the larger stuff, just be awesome to have this to be able to switch to maybe those metal blades or those other attachments. So overall, just a phenomenal unit. And guys, after watching this, you know, you've seen everything from the specs to the features to the service points. Now, if there's anything that I left out, any other questions that you guys have, make sure to leave those in the comments section below so I can get back to you. And if you like this video, guys, make sure to give this video a like and give us a subscribe, as that helps us out as well. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Hey guys, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and go buy your parts at west-equip.com/parts.